Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out another folding drone from Eachine. This is again another one's a toy class folding drones with Wi-Fi, FPV, and it does send back video to your phone. But the controller here is smaller and there's no phone holder, so you kind of have to fly it and have the phone kind of somewhere on the on a table or somewhere else where you can see it, because there's no way to have the controller hold the phone. This one is quite a bit smaller than the other ones in this series, like I think the E52, E57. There's a bunch of these that I've reviewed recently, and it's folding because, as you can see, it's totally flat here, and the motors fold down, and you just press these two buttons on the side, and all the motors pop up. And I believe these are like 6mm or 7mm motors, pretty small props, but it's very light, and the battery is built in. You can see here, looks like a fairly large battery. Obviously it's going to be 1S, and it charges here using a barrel plug charger that charges via USB. That's included. It takes about 45 minutes for it to completely charge up from empty, and you get about 5 minutes of flying time. You get some spare props and a prop removal tool and some instructions. And the controller is pretty strange. It's got these like sliding discs on here, and it's not really proportional. So it's basically, if you want to throttle, you move it up and it's either on, it's either on or off basically, because there's not much movement in the throttle stick. So it's not proportional. If it is, it's very unnoticeable. Basically, you're either going or you're not going. So I'm not sure I'm liking this controller so much. I did fly it a little bit, and it was fairly easy to control because it does have altitude hold, so it just kind of sits there, and you just use the trim buttons to make it stationary, but you can't really fly it. I mean, you can kind of set it up there and then take some video with a little camera here. It's supposed to be recording at 720p on your phone, but the image is very narrow, so you're going to have to be pretty far away from yourself. So for example, if you want to take photos or selfies or whatever, then this needs to be fairly far away from the subject that you're filming, because the field of view is extremely narrow. But it is flyable, and it's fairly controllable because it's got a pretty good flight controller in here, and it's very stable. So I'll show you that when I actually fly it in the flight demo. So this button here is for your flips. Your rates are going to be this button here, and then your basically your arm disarm button is going to be over here. So you short press it and it'll start the props up, and then you throttle up and it'll take off, and it'll hover at maybe, I think it's about 4 or 5 feet. And then if you want to do an emergency landing, you would long press the button. So this is basically a launch and landing button, and if you long press it, it'll just kill the motors and it'll just drop out of the sky. So to bind this and turn it on, it's fairly simple. You just press and hold the power button on the drone, and then the lights will start flashing, and then you press and hold the power button on the transmitter. This will start flashing, and then you throttle up and down, 2 beeps, should turn solid, and then this one you can take off by pressing the start and stop button. So as I mentioned before, there is a Wi-Fi signal coming out of the drone that transmits the video, and there is an app that you can download from the Play Store. It's called Eachine Fly. Basically it's the same as any of these Wi-Fi drones. You install the app, you connect via Wi-Fi to the drone, and it'll show up as like Eachine something. And then once you connect and then launch the app, you can then see the video that's coming out of the drone. And you can actually control the drone with the virtual joysticks on the phone itself, as well as looking at the video. So if you want to fly with the phone, it's probably going to be about the same as this actually, because this kind of is similar to the way the controls would feel on the phone, except that you have tactile feedback on these controls, whereas on the ones on the phone, it's hard to tell when you're in the middle and stuff without actually looking at the controller or the phone the whole time and not actually looking at the drone. So it's a little bit harder to fly if you're just flying FPV, especially with all the latency. Okay, so since there's no phone holder, I'm just going to fly at line of sight, and I'm recording video to my phone. It's in my pocket, and we'll just see what that looks like. Go ahead and take off. Pretty stable, not a lot of wind right now, drifting to the right a little. Controls are very robotic, as you can see. is drifting off to the right. Trim it out a little bit here. It's fairly easy to fly, but it's very robotic in that the movements are sort of little jerky movements like that. I'll bring it a little closer, I can show you. So the movements are not proportional. It's either forward or not, so backwards or not. So either you're level or you're going right. Let's try the flips here. It raises up a little bit, and then it drops a lot of altitude in the flips. Let's try the high rate. This is the high rate. Not very fast, a little bit faster. Actually, once you kind of get used to the controls a little bit, it's not too bad. It's flyable because you're not really paying attention to the throttle too much. Actually, I'm not paying attention to the throttle at all. It does lose a little bit of altitude, a little bit more in high rates. I'm going to raise it up a little bit more here. But yeah, it's flyable. It's just that you basically either moving in one direction or you're self-leveled. There's no in between. And looks like I'm already at low voltage. The lights are blinking. This is probably going to land by itself pretty soon here. Let's see what a funnel would look like. I'm not sure how that would work with altitude hold. So that's the funnel there. And yeah, I'm landing. Yep, that's the end of the battery. Yeah, so that's going to do it for the review of the Eachine E57. It's a fun little flyer. The video is okay. It's Wi-Fi and narrow field of view. The flight characteristics on this controller are very robotic, but it is flyable once you sort of get used to it, as you saw in the flight demo. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.